Hello EDU 131 students. This is Brenda Blackburn, your instructor for this course. I wanted to quickly show you a couple of things in the course. We have already looked at the course home, the getting started, and major course assignments and resources. Now, family engagement plan, this major course assignment will have many parts to it, and we'll divide those parts up throughout the course. And so in your first module, you will have part of that family engagement plan to start. So let's look at Module 1. And as you look at Module 1, you will see the video, which is, you don't see it right now because I'm just now doing it. It's not uploaded yet. You'll see the video to be watching, the Module 1 lesson to go ahead and review and read. And you'll notice that you're going to be reading chapters 1, 2, and 3 in your textbook, Homeschool and Community Relations. There are 2 different due dates during this module, so please make a note of that. In fact, almost every module has 2 different due dates on it, so make sure you pay attention to that and stay up on everything. I would read through everything first to know if there are assignments that's going to take longer than other assignments so that you can pace yourself during this 2-week time period of working on these assignments. So the first things that are due on February 3rd, there is a discussion forum, and you are going to look at a video and a couple different videos here, and then you're going to answer some questions, and you can answer and discuss both questions. So look through the videos first, answer both of those questions. One question is here and the second one is down here. Now please answer these questions by February 3rd and then respond to other classmates by February 10th. So there are 2 different due dates on this particular assignment. As we look back on Module 1, you'll see a journal writing number 1. You're going to write an autobiography of your life. And while you're writing some of these topics, you'll discuss these particular questions. What family structure organization were you born into? What parenting style did you grow up in? And you're going to see some websites here that you can look at about the 4 different parenting styles. How do you feel this has affected your adult years? And which of your life roles, school, work, family, etc., do you consider to be most important and why? Explain how this is reflected in all of your life choices that you make. So there's a parenting styles, what would work, what works and what doesn't work. There's the attached family, what's your parenting style, and there's some videos here. Actually, it's one video, I think it's duplicated. And then go ahead and write it all up, and it gives you some different criteria here of what we're looking for. This is like your rubric, so many points for each section of the parts that we're looking for. So that's journal writing number 1, and you'll have 6 journals altogether during this whole class. Then you're going to do a professional behavior checklist. Some of you may have seen this already, but if not, we're going to look at this. And you're going to see this throughout your program, the professional behavior checklist. And as we think about going into a volunteer situation, or if you are already employed somewhere, you want to think about how are you presenting yourself as a professional. So one of the things that you can do, well, that you will be doing, is you're going to be looking at this professional behavior checklist, and there's a Word document actually in the course that's going to help you with this right here. And as you look at this, you'll see that there are things to select, different each person characteristics. Let me see if I can get this open. And we'll take a look at it. And I want you to see what this looks like. So as you work through your program and learn how to be a professional, an early childhood professional, we want you to consider these different attributes that are important to have in any profession and also in early childhood. So you're going to look at each one of these characteristics. One is adaptability. And you'll choose one of these lines that best represents you right now. And you can see we used to do this in 173, 131, and then in your final class. So in 131, you're going to mark this middle column, and you're going to choose one of these lines that best represents you right now when it comes to adaptability. Be honest. You know, we all have things to work on. So go through each one of these characteristics: relationship to others, communication skills, productivity, self-confidence, responsibility and dependability, punctuality and attendance, initiative, discretion, professional appearance, reaction under stress, accepts criticism, problem solving, conflict management, and ability to work effectively with children. Notice that there's only one particular attribute here that has to do with working with children, because to become a professional, you need to be able to work with people. You need to be able to do many of these different attributes that we've looked at very briefly, and that goes for just about any job. So we want you to become a professional in everything that you do. And so what you're going to do, don't worry about signatures. That's really for your final capstone class, your practicum class. What we want you to do is move down to this next page, and you're going to pick one or two of those areas you feel like, oh, that's a real problem, I need to work on it. Kind of like your New Year's resolutions. So what I want you to do is pick one of those areas, just list them right here, then write a goal. What would be my goal for that area? Now, if you would look back on those areas, let's say it's with problem solving and conflict management. Let's say you occasionally are able to hear, listen, and evaluate situations about self and activities in a positive manner. Occasionally offers ideas to help solve problems, but maybe you want to move up a little bit, or in this case, move down the chart. And maybe you want, this is your goal. You want to be able to hear, listen, evaluate situations about self, others, and activities, consistently offer positive solutions to problems with a positive, helpful attitude, demonstrate positive conflict resolution, approaches problems and conflicts as learning opportunities, and seek suggestions from others. Maybe that is your goal. That's where you want to achieve. So you want to go down here and just type that in as your goal. Now, what's your plan of action then? What are the steps you're going to take in order to get there? So you're going to write 1, 2, 3, your plan of action steps in order to get there. Make it realistic and achievable. And then you're going to write what's your time frame for completing this. Well, hopefully it's by the end of the semester. So we want to make sure you put that in there. And then just sign your name that that's what you're trying to accomplish this semester. So take this seriously, think through it. Be honest. Just give yourself some time to reflect on these different characteristics here, and have fun filling this out. So then that is your professional behavior checklist assignment. Then you're going to go down here to the volunteer service location. So you're going to let me know where it is that you're going to volunteer for this class. And you're just going to fill this out, let us know, and that's all you have to do for that assignment. The next thing you're going to do is strengthening families mini research. Now, in order to complete your big family engagement plan project, we want you to have a little bit of background knowledge on some strengthening families and some research behind that. So look at this assignment. You're going to read and evaluate the Strengthening Families Checklist. Just click on that and you'll be able to read that. And the Strengthening Families for Practitioners documents. So both of those documents, one is very lengthy, so just kind of look through it very quickly. Don't spend a lot of time on it, but you can get the gist by kind of briefly looking through all of that and knowing what it's about. And then you're going to research popular and successful engagement opportunities that are being utilized by early educators to facilitate respectful and reciprocal relationships among the families and communities they serve. So your research can include informal research such as discussion with classmates, community partners, employers, instructors, maybe some previous coursework you've done here at Blue Ridge, the Strengthening Families for Practitioners document, or internet searches, along with even your textbook. So just spend a few, maybe an hour or two researching this, and then write a 1 to 2 page paper with your findings on successful strategies and techniques used to engage families. be sure to cite all your sources in APA format and include a reference page. Look back on those APA resources that we have provided for you to see how you're supposed to do that reference page. And as we go back to Module 1, the last thing you're going to do that's due on February 3rd is your family engagement plan. And this, we're actually starting with part 3 because it just seems to fit better. But this is the introductory letter. And so let's think about the way that you communicate with parents and guardians. So think about supporting and engaging families and communities through respectful, reciprocal relationships. That's one of our NAAYC standards, key elements. So read through this. You're doing an imaginary scenario. You're pretending like you're getting ready for the school year, and you've decided to send a letter to the family of each student in your preschool class. The point of the letter is to introduce yourself, describe the curriculum, highlight a few upcoming projects, and provide information about what to expect the first day. And as you write, think about the need to create a warm tone, to be clear and organized, and to avoid any educational jargon. Don't use educational terms that parents may not understand. And then to stimulate interest and excitement about school. Utilize information discussed in this class, your readings, those kind of things. And then to exceed expectations, to go just a little bit beyond what we're asking you to do. Be sure your letter is very sensitive to all cultures, family compositions, time and financial constraints, so don't say that you got to buy a bunch of stuff, and inclusive, while also communicating your knowledge and displaying self-confidence. Now you're going to submit one letter in English and translate it into Spanish or another language of your choice that would be relevant to your situation. That's for you to exceed expectations, which I'm sure you'll all want to do. And then you can look down here about the criteria, your grading rubric, and see what the point is for each part of the letter. So I think those are the things that are due February 3rd. I know it seems like a lot, but a lot of them are very short, quick little things that you can do. Now on February 10th, there is a little bit larger assignment that's due, but it's going to have to do with your reading that you have done in chapters 1, 2, and 3. You're going to be introduced to several families. So what we want to do is have you in your resource gathering, you're going to choose one of the families from chapter 1, either the Lawrence family or the Ashley family. Think about their situations. Think about the sources of stress for the children and the effect the children's stress had on the parents. In addition to the stress felt by the children, think about some other causes of stress for each mother. Now, after you choose one of the families, find some resources that might help that family. You're going to complete this assignment by doing the following things. First of all, you're going to tell me which family you chose. Secondly, you're going to listen to one of the podcasts on the Parents Journal, and there's the link right there. Choose one of the podcasts that are at least 6 minutes long to listen to, and that would be helpful to the family that you've chosen, either the Lawrence family or the Ashley family. Pick a topic that's going to be beneficial to them and in their situation. You're going to summarize the interview that you listened to and give your opinion of the segment and explain why you chose that particular topic for this family. Choose one book on a parenting issue that would be helpful to the family you've chosen from chapter 1 in the textbook and could be included in a resource room for other parents. Write an annotated bibliography for your chosen book. And this could be a book that you've already read and found helpful, or a book that a trusted friend or relative has read. And you're going to write it in APA format and include a synopsis of the book. So I've given you an example of that right here underneath this, Ending the Homework Hassle, which was a great book that I read when my kids were growing up, and I needed it at the time. And then next, after you do that one, you're going to conduct a search of journal articles related to family structure today or the experience of parenting specifically related to the family you've chosen from chapter 1. Read and summarize one of those articles you found and include the following points listed here. The next thing you'll do is, from the following list, choose 3 local community resources to investigate and provide relevant information about each of the 3 agencies chosen. These community resources should be relevant to assist the family you've chosen from Chapter 1. Gather as much information as possible about these services and write it up in your report. Include the following 5 items for each of the 3 agencies you researched. So here's a list of those different agencies right down here. You can choose from these agencies, or if you have other ones that you know would be helpful for that family as well. Next, you'll find 5 helpful websites on working with parents and families, or websites that deal with diversity issues that might be helpful to your chosen family, the Lawrence family or the Ashley family. Give the URL address, list helpful resources you found on each of those websites, and tell why you found each website to be helpful for this family. Compile all your information into a report and submit it into Moodle in the assignment area here. Please label each section so I know which section you're dealing with, which you're writing about, with the corresponding letter, section A, B, C, D, etc. So I think that does it for this module, along with the quizzes for each one of those chapters here at the end, chapter 1, 2, and 3. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to call me or to email me at any time. I hope you have a great Module 1.